What's up friends, I'm Toby and I'm back, and in this video we're gonna talk about this, the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and how to use it for sick metal tone. Let's go! Hello everyone, long time no see. It's good to be back and it's good to see you again. I hope you had an amazing summer. I know I did. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, it's good to have you and I hope you enjoyed the video. So, since you're watching this guitar gear video, you might be familiar with this guy, or any of the other many awesome guitar players who demos amps and guitars for metal music. Besides the awesome music and playing, you might have noticed this mysterious little box always on top of the amp. What does it do? Well, in this video I'm gonna show you. So, the Tube Screamer, the green giant, the little beast that will turn your clean grandfather's amp into a blues rock heavy monster. Made famous by guitarist Steiberg UR in the late 70s when it was released, this little thing has become a staple in rock music, and it's basically the most famous and iconic pedal there is. This green can be seen on pedal boards spanning every genre. This is the #1 pedal you should get. It's super versatile and it just makes a decent sounding amp sound great. It originated out of Japan by a company called Maxon, or at least they labeled their pedals Maxon. They got licensed by Ibanez to produce this little guy, and nowadays it's been copied by everyone and their grandmothers, and exactly the same schematics as this pedal can be found in way cheaper pedals, and you don't have to go and get the actual Ibanez one. There are versions that got more knobs on it and more functions and more boost and more gain, but this is the one that started it all. So how do you use it? Most demo videos of the Tube Screamer come from like a rock and jazz perspective. So you plug this into a clean amp, you crank it up, and you get a little grittier sound with focused and boosted mids, and that makes their clean guitar sound a little bit more spanky, a little bit more rock, and that's great and that's cool because that's what this thing was made for. But the Tube Screamer has found another use and another purpose within metal music, and it's that mid boost and focus that we're gonna use it for. So on its own, it's not really a metal monster. Imagine putting down $100 or $200 for this. You put it in, you crank it up, you're gonna play some sick death metal, and this is what you get. Not exactly metal, is it? But that's not what you're gonna use it for. Your overdrive is gonna go down, and you're gonna use it just for the mid boost and the focused low end. These terms. Let me show you. Alright, so I plugged in my trusty Endcaster into my orange Crush 120, and here's my tone. So that's pretty cool. That's like a stoner rocky kind of sound, typical orange sound, and it sounds great. And if that's what you want, then that's awesome. But it doesn't do for like modern metal. That does not sound like Bring the Horizon or Architects or Killswitch Engage. You want something that has a little bit more spike to it, that is tighter and more aggressive. And that's where the Tube Screamer comes in. So let's kick it. Oh, that's the stuff! Did you hear it? It just adds sizzle and focus, and it tightens up the sound, and it makes your already good amp sound fucking metal. Let's do it again without the tube screamer. Just awesome. That's exactly what I was missing from my amp when I bought it, and this just completes the package. And that is why Ola or Fluff or all the other guys use this when demoing an amp, because that's how you get that sound. Not only does it do this to your tone, but it helps you cut through in a band. So when you play with bassists and guitarists and drummer and vocals, it tends to get the frequencies are all over the place and sounds tend to cancel each other out, so the guitar becomes like this blanket all over everything. It doesn't really stand out, you just kind of get drowned out by everything else. So adding the tube screamer helps you more comfortably find your way in your hole within the frequency spectrum and cut through and be heard. But it also has a few other benefits as well. For example, it helps increase your sustain. So if I play a note without the tube screamer like this, and with tube screamer, that's super useful. You don't use it for the overdrive like at all, but use for the boost and the focus on the mids. It also helps when soloing to glue notes together. Like I use a lot of like hammers and pull-ups when soloing, these little things. And there's so much clearer and so much more buttery when using an overdrive in front. It just makes your guitar and your amp sing. So yeah, you buy this thing for like $100 and you plug it in, and it might not seem at first like it does a lot, but it's like the bow on the present that ties everything together. It's the little touch that takes your guitar and your sound from decent to It makes everything come together in a fantastic way, and it's just great addition to your pedal board. And there you have it. That's what this little box does. That's the whole purpose of the little thing that always sits atop of metal guitarists' amplifiers. But you don't need this one, there's plenty of overdrives and you can experiment and find the one that suits you. But that is the purpose and that's the gist of it. I hope this video was useful or at least entertaining to you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Toby and I'm out. Take care. Bye.